We'll go ahead and get started. And we'll start out down in the back. And looks like you're already somewhat there. I was going to say start in Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can start out with the soles of your feet together if that feels good, or if it feels better, just stay as you are there if that works. So if soles of the feet together feels okay, Supta Baddha Konasana, you can start there. Sometimes early on in the practice, that can feel a little vulnerable in the hips and the groin area. If you have two blocks, taking two blocks underneath the thighs, underneath the knees, can be helpful starting out. And then close your eyes there. I like to take my palms to my belly when I start out in this position. So if that feels good, that feels comfortable for you, you could take the palms to the belly, helps to start tuning into the breath. Or if arms out by your sides feels better, you can stay there. Whatever feels comfortable. And we'll start out here just taking a few nice deep breaths here together. So take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose. As you inhale, feel the breath come in, fill up, expand across the collarbones. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Let it go. And again, just like that, nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose as the breath comes in, feel the sides of the waist expand. As you inhale, sip in a little bit more air when you get to the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Let that go. And one more nice deep breath. Inhale, fill up through your nose. Sip in a little bit more air when you get to the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Let it go. And then breathing in and out through your nose. Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice. Coming into that, perhaps we bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Creates a constriction along the back of the throat. So it feels almost as though you're dragging the breath along the back of the throat. Maintaining this slow, steady, even quality to your breathing throughout your practice. Using this breath as an anchor also throughout your practice to bring you back into this space, into this body, wherever your mind wanders, takes you elsewhere off of the mat, honoring the commitment you made to be here this morning. Just a few more rounds of breath here like this. And go ahead and take your fingertips to the outsides of the thighs. Guide your knees to come together and come into a figure four on the right side. So take your right ankle across your left knee. And as you come into the figure four, left foot can stay planted, or you can lift the left foot up off your mat, hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers to the back behind that left hamstring or to the front of the left knee or shin. Do try to keep the backs of your shoulders, the background of the head relaxed on your mat. Keep that right foot active. So flexing the right foot as though you were standing on that right foot, curl the right toes back towards the right knee. Take just a couple more breaths here. See if you can direct the breath into the sensation in that outer right hip. Good. And then go ahead and release your interlace. If you lifted that left foot, plant your left foot down on your mat, extend the right leg up towards the sky just for a breath. Maybe roll out the right ankle a few times, roll it out the other way. And then plant your right foot down on your mat, come into the left side. So taking the left ankle across the right knee and maybe pulling the right knee in towards the chest if you did so on the other side. And keeping that left foot active, flexing the left foot, curling the left toes back towards the left kneecap. And do check into that your left ankle is straight. So you want to try to have the left ankle a little bit past the right thigh so that you're not breaking at the ankle. That's just one way our body kind of avoids the stretch in the hip. And taking a few more rounds of breath here, directing the breath into the sensation in that outer left hip. Good, and then release that side. Plant your right foot down if you lifted it up. Extend your left leg up towards the sky. Roll out that left ankle a couple times. Reverse the direction. Roll it out the other way. Good, and then give your knees a hug in towards your chest. And rock a little bit from side to side, massaging the low back. And then start to rock and roll back and forth, up and down on your spine. You can take a couple rocks if that feels good. Eventually making your way up over the knees and find yourself in a tabletop position. We'll take just a couple rounds of cat and cow here in tabletop. As you inhale, drop your belly down, pull your chest forward through your hands, front of the head lifts. And as you exhale, tuck it round, draw the navel in towards the spine, feel the shoulder blades spread away from one another on the back. Moving like this for a few rounds at your own pace with your breath, undulating the spine and beginning to link your breath with your movement. And taking another round or so on your own, at your own pace. And once you finish your next round, you're ready to make your way into your first downward facing dog. You'll walk your palms forward about 2 inches or so, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, find yourself in your first downward facing dog. And as you find yourself here, take any movement that feels good, alternate bending the knees or lifting the heels, feeling your way into the hips, into the hamstrings. Good. And then from down dog, take an inhale, round yourself forward, roll out to plank, pull your chest forward through your hands, but press back through the inner edges of your heels. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, just like that, inhale, rounding forward, roll yourself out to a plank. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, rounding forward, roll yourself out to a plank. Exhale, tap your knees down on your mat. Good. Take an inhale here, wrap your biceps back, spin your triceps to face forward towards the front of your mat. And then exhale, just lower halfway, chaturanga, go push up, elbow stand. Inhale, press yourself straight back up. Exhale, lower halfway. And then drop all the way down onto your belly. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, roll up, baby cobra. Good. Exhale, roll lower right back down. Take 2 more of those rolls. Reach your sitting bones back towards your heels as you inhale, rolling up, draw your elbows back. Exhale, roll lower back down. 1 more. Inhale, rolling up, head and neck stays in line with your spine. Exhale, press right back through bent knees and all the way up into your downward facing dog. Good. From your down dog here, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, stack the right hip on top of your left, roll it open, bend your knee. Take a few breaths here, just kind of rolling open that right hip. And take an inhale, extend the right leg, square your hips off towards the mat, right frontal hip point points down. Then exhale, tuck the right knee in towards the chest, round, shift forward, look forward, float the right foot between your hands to a lunge. Tap the left knee down on your mat, Anjaneyasana. Just 1 inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. As you reach up, stretching that left hip flexor. Exhale, hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back left toes under, lift your left knee up off your mat. Inhale to step yourself back to a plank, high push-up position. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. From down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, stack the left hip on top of your right, roll it open, bend your knee, take a few breaths here. Rolling open, kind of yawning in that left hip. Good. And take an inhale, extend the left leg. Square your hips off towards the floor, left toes point down towards your mat. Exhale as you tuck and round, knee in towards your chest, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands, lunge. Tap your right knee down on your mat, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you reach up, lengthen forward through that front left knee. Exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back right toes under, lift your right knee up off your mat. A little different this time, press off the back toes. Step up to the front of your mat with your feet hips width distance apart. Take an inhale, half lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, tuck your chin, soften it in. Then take a ragdoll here, grab onto opposite elbows, feet hips width distance apart. Nice soft bend in your knees so that you can feel your chest laying down on the tops of your thighs. Sway the torso out a little bit from side to side, shake the head out, yes and no. Good. And then release your palms from your elbows. Take an inhale, half lift, slide your palms up your shins, lengthen forward. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften it in. Press into your feet, inhale, circle the arms, reach all the way up to come up to standing. And exhale, take your hands together at your heart. Good. And then if you are playing the playlist, you can go ahead and press play now. I'll give you a moment to do that. It is Zoom 23. So if you are playing, it starts with the song called Light. And you can go ahead and press play. And then bring your big toes together, your heels slightly apart. We start with Surya Namaskara A. Take an inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, dive it down up over your legs. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine, chest, collarbone broad. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your first chaturanga, knees are lifted or down. Inhale, pressing through upward facing dog, chest, collarbone is broad. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in down dog. So holding in down dog, as you breathe in down dog, spread through your fingers. Press into the outer edges of your palms. Good. Maybe keep a little bend in the knees if that helps you find more lift through your sitting bones, more length in your spine. Good. Take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms, reach it all the way up to come up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, Surya A, just like that. Inhale, circle the arms, reaching up, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen forward more through the crown of your head. Keep the length as you step back, lower, chaturanga, upper arms lower so they're parallel with the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in your down dog. And so in down dog, gaze is back between the knees. The ears should fall in line with your upper arm bones. And then see if as you press into your palms, notice if you're poking out in your lower ribs, and can you gather your lower rib cage in? As you gather the lower ribs in, perhaps notice how the forearms lift slightly away from the mat. As your forearms lift, can you wrap the biceps in and spin your triceps forward? So external rotation in your shoulders. Okay, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms, reach it all the way up to standing. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Again, just like that, Surya A. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold, dive it down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, keep the length as you step or float back, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, pressing through, upward facing dog. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here in your down dog. And feeling the breath come in, fill up, expand the back body as you inhale. Feeling the contraction at the sides of the waist as you exhale. Okay, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms all the way up to come up to stand and grow taller at the top. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. We're going to flow through a modified Surya B today, and we're going to add on to it as we flow. So first round, inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips down, sweep the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or float as you lower back. Inhale, pressing through, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Good. Take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, float the right foot forward between the hands, ground and turn out your back heel. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, float the palms down, step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Left leg lifts as you inhale. Exhale, float the left foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, the arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, float right back down, step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Take a few breaths here in down dog. You're moving in half a breath per pose and then using the few breaths in down dog to check in, to smooth out the breath, maintaining that long, slow, steady, deep breath, that even quality to your breathing, just as when you were lying down on your back at the beginning of class. Take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep the arms. Exhale, swing the arms all the way to standing. Take your hands to your heart. Inhale, Utkatasana, adding on, bend your knees, sink your hips down. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or float. Always feel free to skip the Chaturangas, come straight to down dog. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Exhale, float the right foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, warrior one, rises you up. Exhale, warrior two, open up, heel toe that right foot a little more towards the left. Inhale, cartwheel the back arm up and over. Exhale, Chaturanga, or skip it straight to down dog. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, your left leg lifts up and back. Exhale, float the left foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, Vira one, reaching up. Exhale, Vira two, warrior two, open it up, heel to the left foot towards the right. Inhale, cartwheel the back arm up and over. Exhale, Chaturanga, or you skip it and go straight to down dog. Inhale to upward facing if you took the Chaturanga. Exhale to downward facing. Take a few breaths in your down dog. Gazing back between the knees. As you do so, lengthening the crown of the head forward towards your fingertips. Continue to press into the palms to shift the weight back into the legs. Good. Take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips. Exhale, swing the arms all the way to standing. Good. Again, adding on. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, you step or float back, cycle through. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, your right leg lift. Exhale, float the foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, warrior one, rises you up. Exhale, warrior two, open up to the side. Good. Inhale, right elbow to the thigh, side angle, reach the left arm up over the ear. Exhale, draw the top arm down and back, warrior two. Good. Inhale as you cartwheel the back arm up and over. Exhale, Chaturanga, step back, lower through. Inhale, pressing through, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, float the foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, warrior one, reach up. Exhale, warrior two, open up. Inhale, side angle, left elbow to the left thigh, right arm reaches up over the ear. Exhale, draw the top arm down and back, warrior two. Inhale, cartwheel the back arm up and over. Exhale, Chaturanga, cycle through. Inhale, pressing through, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, lift your hips. Take a few breaths in down dog. Feel the breath come in. Fill up, expand the back body as you inhale. Feel the contraction at the sides of the waist and the back body as you exhale. Smoothing out the breath, maintaining that slow, steady, even quality to your breathing. Okay, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin. Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips down, chair pose. Exhale, swing the arms all the way to standing, hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or floater. Always feel free to skip it. Go straight to down dog. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, your right leg lifts right away. Exhale, float the foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, warrior one, rise up. Stay here this time. So holding in warrior one for a few breaths. As you lengthen forward through the front right knee, find it tracking right over the right ankle. And then draw your right outer hip back. As you do so, feel the left frontal hip point draw forward. Good. Can you lengthen your tailbone away from your lower back? Good. Keep pressing firmly into the outer back left side of the foot. Good. Taking another breath or two here. Good. On your next inhale, reach up, maybe look up, maybe touch your palms. And as you exhale, open it up into warrior two. So heel to that right foot a little further over towards the left side of your mat so that your front right heel is in line with the back left arch of your foot. And then have your shoulders stacking right up over your hips. And then as you lengthen forward through that front right knee, check in that the knee is staying tracking right over the right ankle. So if you find your knee tracks past the ankle, then you want to lengthen your stance a little bit, inching those right toes forward towards the front of your mat. Good. Take a few breaths here. Let your gaze soften out over the front fingertips. Relax your shoulders down. Feel yourself directing that right sitting bone back towards your left heel. Good. Maybe close your eyes as you hold here. If you can descend that front right thigh bone down towards the mat a little bit more. Good. Coming into side angle, we're going to take the hand to the inside of the foot if you have a block or if the floor is accessible. And if you don't have a block or the floor is not accessible, then you're going to take your right elbow to the right thigh as we've been doing. So if you have a block coming into side angle, palm down on the block to the inside of that right foot, and then reach your left arm up over the ear, side angle. Good. So when we take side angle with the hand to the inside of the foot, right, we're working more of the opening in that right hip. So as you have your palm to the inside, can you connect the inside of the knee to the outside of that right arm bone? And then use the right arm bone connected to draw the knee back. So keep drawing that right knee back so it tracks over that second toe. Good. Really nice. As you do that, can you feel your right sitting bone circling back towards that left heel? Good. Really nice. Beautiful. Taking another breath or two here. We've had that front knee bent for a while now, perhaps feeling that in that right knee, leg, thigh. Good. Wherever you are, press into your feet. Take an inhale, come all the way up through warrior two. And then exhale, release your hands down to frame your front foot. Step yourself back to plank, high push-up position. Your choice, chaturanga, or you skip it, come straight to down dog. Cycling through the chaturanga up dog, if you so choose. We all meet up in downward facing dog. From down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, float the left foot forward between the hands, ground and turn out your back heel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Warrior one, we hold here for a few breaths. So in warrior one, traditionally heel to heel alignment, or sometimes it feels better to either even take that left foot a little further towards the left side of your mat and the right foot a little further towards the right side of your mat. So you have a little more space for the hips to move towards being squared off towards the front. And then as you lengthen forward through that left knee, find it tracking right over the ankle. You're gonna drop your front lower ribs down. Good. At the same time, can you lift your upper back ribs up off of the lower back? Good. Take a few breaths here. Keep pressing firmly into that outer back right side of the foot so you're feeling a lift in that inner right thigh. Good. Take one more breath here. Inhale, maybe look up, maybe touch your palms. And then exhale, open it up to warrior two. Adjusting your feet as you need to so that the front left heel is in line with the back right arch of the foot, so that you feel your shoulders stacking right up over your hips. Good. Reaching the arms out. Relax your shoulders down. Let your gaze soften out over the front fingertips. Good. Keep descending that left thigh bone down, adjusting the length of your stance as you need to. Maybe close the eyes as you hold here for a few more breaths. And making our way into side angle with the hand to the inside of the foot. So if the floor is accessible or if you have a block, you reach your left fingertips towards the front of your mat. Take your left palm down to a block or to the inside of the foot, or you can take the elbow to the knee if you don't have a block and if that floor or block is not accessible for you. Reach the right arm up over the ear so your right fingertips are reaching towards the front of the room. And now again, with this variation with the hand to the inside of the foot, can you use the outside of the left arm bone to press into the inside of the left knee to draw the left knee back? So it's tracking over the second toe. And then as the knee draws back, can you feel that left sitting bone directing back towards your back right heel? Good, really nice. So focusing on the sensation in the hip, the opening in the hip here. Good, taking a couple more breaths here. Perhaps starting to feel a little bit of fatigue in that front left thigh. Continuing to breathe well. Good, really nice. Press into your feet, circle the top arm down and back, make your way up to warrior two, and then release your hands down to frame your front foot. Inhale as you step yourself back to a plank, high push-up. Your choice on the exhale, chaturanga, or lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We all meet up in downward facing dog. Cycling through, meeting up in down dog, taking a few breaths as you arrive in down dog. Good. From down dog, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften it. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Exhale, swim the arms all the way to standing. Take your hands to your heart. Take a breath here, take a pause. We're going to continue to add on to this sequence. You're going to inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips down, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga or down dog. It's always your choice to skip the Chaturangas in your practice and go straight to down dog. Inhale, upward facing if you took the Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, your right leg lifts up and back. Exhale, float the right foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Warrior one, inhale, rises you up. Exhale, open right up to warrior two this time. Good. From warrior two, we're going to come back into side angle, but this time taking the variation where the hand is to the outside of the foot. So start to reach your right fingertips forward and then take the palm down to the outside of the foot, either to the floor or to a block, or again, if you don't have a block, the option is to stay with the elbow at the knee. Good. So now this time, this different variation is working more strengthening in the hip as opposed to the stretch, the opening. You want to peel that right knee back. See if you can connect the right knee to the inside of the right arm bone. And it may even help if you take your block or your palm just a few inches, maybe 3 to 5 inches to the outside of that front right foot, a little further out towards the right side of your mat. So that then you have some space that you can draw the knee back and try to connect it to the inside of the arm bone. Good. Taking another breath here. Really nice. Good. From here, we're making our way into Ardha Chandrasana. So bring your gaze down towards the front right foot. Take the left palm to the left hip. Take the block or palm out about a foot out in front of you. Should be in line with the pinky toe as you take it out in front. Start to get light on the back left toes until the left leg floats up to hip level. Outer edge of the left foot is pressing up towards the sky like it's holding up the ceiling. Good. Once balance feels okay, maybe you reach that left arm up towards the sky. Finding your balance here, strong in Ardha Chandrasana. Good. Really nice. If you could spin that lower right side of the rib cage around towards the sidewall. Notice if your lower ribs are poking out slightly. Can you knit your lower ribs in towards your frontal hip points? Good. Bring your gaze down towards the bottom right palm. Start to bend your right standing leg, reach your left toes back, land all the way down in warrior two. Cartwheel the back arm up and over. Step back to plank, your choice, whether you want the chaturanga or you skip it, go straight to down dog. Cycling through, choosing what your body needs on this day will be different each time you find yourself on your mat. Meet up in downward facing dog. As you arrive, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, flip the left foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Warrior one, inhale, reaches up. Exhale, warrior two, open it up. Good, moving your way into side angle right away with the hand to the outside of the foot. If you have a block, you take it down to the outside of the foot and you reach that right arm up over the ear. Good, so as you find yourself here, warrior two, again, the focus here is on that strengthening of that outer hip, pinning the outside of the knee to the inside of the left arm bone. Good, really nice. You can even take the block or the palm a little further towards that left side of your mat. So you have a little space to peel that knee back. Good, take another breath here. Really nice. And then bring your gaze down towards the front left foot. Take your top right palm to your right hip, beginning to make your way into Ardha Chandrasana. Take the block out about a foot out in front of you. Should be still in line with the pinky toe. As you get light on the back, right toes, outer edge of the right foot floats up towards the sky. Right toes are pointing towards the side of the room. Good. Once the leg lifts up to hips level and balance feels okay, maybe you reach that right arm up towards the sky. Good. So here, again, noticing if those lower ribs are poking out, can you knit your lower ribs towards your frontal hip point? Then as you keep that action, can you roll the lower left side of the rib cage around towards the side even more? Maybe balance falls off a little bit. That's okay. Just checking in with yourself, kind of playing around with your edge. Good. Really nice. Holding here for one more breath. Start to make your way back to warrior two. Bend your standing leg, reach the right toes back, land down. Cartwheel the back arm up and over, step back to plank. You choose from here, chaturanga, or you skip it and go straight to down dog. Always your choice, cycling through, make your way to downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift when you get there. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck your chin, soften. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, swim the arms all the way to standing. Take your hands to your heart. Maybe close your eyes. Take a pause. Take a breath here. Good. We're continuing to add on. Inhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. I've got a bee around me out here, guys, if you just saw me kind of as out there. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step or float back, chaturanga. Cycling through, or you skip it straight to down dog. Good, from down dog, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, float the right foot forward between the hands, ground and turn out your back heel. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, you open it up, warrior two. Good, inhale, coming right into side angle with the hand to the outside of the foot. Come down into your side angle, reach the left arm up over the ear. We're just here for a breath. Bring your gaze down towards the front right foot, left hand to the left hip. Start to get light on the back toes. Ardha Chandrasana, you're finding that half moon pose once again. As you find yourself here in Ardha Chandrasana, perhaps deciding if you want to take a variation here where you work a bit more of a balance. So bring your gaze down towards that bottom right palm, and then see if you can get light on the right fingertips. Maybe start to lift the right palm off of the block or off of the floor, and then just hover the right fingertips a few inches up off your mat. Finding perhaps a little bit of balance here. Good. If balance is really good, maybe your gaze can come all the way up towards that top palm. Take one more breath here. Start to bend your right standing leg, reach your left toes back, land all the way down, warrior two. Good, this time in warrior two, go ahead and take your hands to your hips. Start to bend your back left knee, spin up on your back toes, dip the left knee down, crescent pose, crescent lunge, squared off towards the front of your mat. Adjust your stance as you need to so that your feet are about hip width distance apart. Hands at your hips so you can draw that right outer hip back, left frontal hip point draws forward. Good, and then with your hands at your hips, we're gonna put a little bend in your back knee. And then as you inhale, start to press the right heel, the left heel back a little more towards straight. Good. Exhale again, little bend. Shin comes towards parallel with the mat. Inhale, press it a little straighter. Try to keep the pelvis exactly the same. Exhale, one more bend. Good. Inhale, press it a little bit straighter. Beautiful. Stay here with it straight. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, take your hands down together at your heart. From here, start to pitch forward, lengthening forward out over that front right thigh, hovering. Making your way into warrior three. Press off the back toes. Start to get light on your back left toes. Float the left leg up to hip level, warrior three. Pressing your palms, your thumbs in towards your chest, towards your sternum. Gather your lower ribs in. Keep length forward through the crown of your head. Keep your head and neck in line with your spine. Good. Not a long hold here. From here, like a seesaw, your chest, your torso is going to start to come down towards, so it's folding out over that right leg. At the same time, the left leg starts to lift a little higher, and then plant your palms down on the mat. So you're in a standing split here. Good. Your head and neck can release. You're gazing back. Take another breath or two here. You can have a bend in the standing leg if that helps. Good. And then release your standing split by just planting that left foot down next to your right at the front of your mat. Feet can be hips width distance apart. Just take a moment here, fold out over the legs. You can take a rag doll, grab onto opposite elbows. Or you can just have your palms down on your mat, soft bend in your knees. Perhaps just noticing even the difference in sensation. That right leg might feel quite different than your left at this point after that sequence. And then start to heel toe your feet so that they come back together. Bend your knees, sink your hips down. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, swim the arms all the way to standing. Take your hands together at your heart. Good. Left side, inhale, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, you step back to plank and lower chaturanga, or you skip it and step straight to downward facing dog. Cycling through the half vinyasa if you'd like. We meet up in downward facing dog. From your down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, float the left foot forward, ground and turn out your back heel. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, open it right up, warrior two. Good. Inhale, start to reach forward through your left fingertips. Side angle, hand to the outside of the left foot. Right arm reaches up over the ear. Good. Bring your gaze down right away towards that front left foot. Right palm to the right hip. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Press off the back toes. Start to get light as you float that right leg up to hip level. Right toes are pointing towards the side of your mat. Good. And then maybe reaching that right arm up towards the sky. And then from here, perhaps again, working the balance. So you bring your gaze down towards the bottom left palm. You press firmly into that left foot. And see if you can just get light on your left fingertips and the left palm. So you're hovering the left fingertips about an inch or two up off your mat. Working the balance here. If balance is really good today, maybe gaze comes all the way up towards that top palm. Just an option. Good. From your balance, making your way back to warrior two. Bend your left standing leg, reach your right toes back, land down, warrior two. Good. Take your hands to your hips. Start to bend that right knee as you spin up on the back toes, dip the knee down, find yourself in crescent pose, crescent lunge. Adjust your stance as you need to, so feet hips width distance apart in your crescent lunge. And then before we do that bending exercise, just lengthen your tailbone away from your lower back. So you feel a little lift of the frontal hip points towards the lower ribs. And then keep that action in the pelvis and put a bend in that back right knee until perhaps the shin is parallel with the floor. And as you inhale, press back through the right heel to press the right leg a little more towards straight. Good. Exhale again, little bend in the knee. Keep the pelvis exactly the same. Inhale, press back, press the leg towards straight. One more. Exhale, little bend. Inhale, press back, press the leg towards straight. Good. Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, hands come down together at your heart. Start to shift forward as you pitch forward out over that front left leg. Press the back toes in about half the distance so you get light on the back right toes, warrior three, making your way up. Press the thumbs into the chest, into the sternum. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head and gather your lower ribs in. Good. From here, like a seesaw, your chest, your torso starts to fold out over that standing leg. At the same time, the right leg lifts up towards the sky, and then plant your palms down, standing split. Let your head and neck release so you're gazing back behind you. Take another breath or two here in your standing split. Good. And then soften your left standing leg. Take your right foot all the way down to meet your left. Feet hip width distance apart at the front of your mat. You can grab onto opposite elbows or just take your palms down out in front of you. Take a moment, take a breath here. Good. And then heel toe your feet so that they come all the way together. Bend your knees, sink your hips down. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, swim the arms all the way to standing. Take your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Cleansing breath here together. Nice deep inhale. Fill up through your nose. Open your mouth. Exhale, sigh it out. Good. Take an inhale. Utkatasana. Bend your knees. Sink your hips down. Good. Exhale from here. Just sit a little bit deeper. Sit a little bit deeper, and then sit your way all the way down onto your mat. Maybe try not to use your hands. Make your way into Navasana, boat pose. Good. From here, take an inhale. As you exhale, lower to Ardha Navasana. Press your lower back down on your mat. Take your hands, interlace them back behind your head. Bring your knees in towards your chest. You're curling up like a little ball. And then figure four on the right side. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Keep your left foot lifted up off your mat. Good. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to curl in. So the chest, the backs of the shoulders lifting in towards your figure four. As you inhale, extend the left leg forward. Reach back through the crown of the head, lengthen. Good. Exhale, crunching in, figure four. Inhale, extend, keeping the figure four with the legs, but extending the left leg. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Last one, exhale, you crunch in. Inhale, you extend. Good. Extend the right leg up towards the sky. You can keep your hands back behind your head. Lower the right leg down to meet the left. Bring both knees in towards the chest. Figure four on the left side. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, crunch, curl in towards your figure four. As you inhale, extend the right leg forward. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, extend right leg out to a hover. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend out. Extend your left leg up towards the sky. Right leg's hovering. Lower the left leg down to meet the right. Reach your fingertips forward. And on your exhale, can you lift up to Navasana? Good. Find yourself in Navasana just for a breath. Beautiful. Lower the feet down. Come on up and over the knees into a tabletop position. Just a couple rounds of cat and cow to stretch out the belly after that. So as you inhale, drop your belly down. Pull your chest forward through the hands, crown of the head, lift. And exhale, tuck and round. Navel draws in towards the spine. Take a couple rounds. Move at your own pace. Stretch the belly out. Maybe wiggle the hips out a little bit from side to side in your cow pose. Good. And then after you finish a couple rounds, walk your palms forward, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And from your down dog, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step up to the front of your mat, half lift. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften it in. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms, reach all the way up to standing. And exhale your hands together at your heart. Good. We're going to come into a balance pose. I'm going to turn and face you, and I'll mirror you for this. So come into tree pose on the right side. So a few options with tree pose. Option, if balance is a little tough today, you can do a kickstand with that right foot. You can take the right foot to the inside of the calf below the knee, or take the right foot all the way up above the knee to the inside of the left thigh. Good, and then you can take your palms together at your heart. Find a steady gaze point, anything not moving out in front of you, and stare at it. Find that point, stay with your long, slow, steady, deep breath. And take your palms. You can reach your arms up if you like. Or you can take the arms back behind you, interlace your fingers. That's a variation I like a lot. Or you can keep your palms together at your heart if that works for you. Notice if you're sitting into that left standing hip. And can you firm the left outer hip in? Good. And then slowly take your palms back down together at your heart. Lift up on that right knee out in front of you. Bend your left standing leg and come into a figure four on the right side. So as you come into the figure four, crossing the right ankle, send your hips way back. So send your hips way back like you're sitting in chair pose so that you keep that left knee tracking right over the left ankle. Good, really nice. Steady gaze point out in front of you. Check in that you're still breathing. Sometimes when we come into balance poses, we hold the breath. Good. Really nice. Press into that left standing leg. Press yourself all the way up to come up to standing. Bring that right knee in towards the chest. Extend the right leg out in front of you just for a breath. Maybe reach the arms up towards the sky. And then lower the right foot down. Good. Shake the legs out. Let that side go. And when you're ready, come right into tree pose on the left side. So whichever variation of the pose works for you. Just want to make sure you're either above the knee or below the knee, but not pressing into the knee. Coming into tree pose on the other side, the left side, when you're ready. Palms can start at your heart. Finding a steady gaze point, finding your balance. And then let your arms grow from there. Wherever you took your arms on the other side. Good, and then start to take your palms back through center. Lift that left knee up out in front of you. Cross it into a figure four on the left side. As you come into the figure four, sit way back into your chair pose. Send your hips way back out behind you so that right knee stays tracking right over the ankle. And you can stay upright here in the balance, or if you like to reach your fingertips down towards the floor and take the fold from here. If you did that on the other side, that's always an option as well. Maintaining your balance, keep peeling that right hip back. The left frontal hip point comes forward. Good. Keeping that left foot active, curling the left toes back towards the left knee. Really nice. Good. Slowly start to make your way back up to standing. Press into the standing leg. Pull the left knee in towards the chest. Extend the left leg out in front of you just for a breath. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And then release, lower it down. Good. Shake the legs out. Just one vinyasa before we come down onto our mat. Take an inhale. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, dive down. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower chaturanga, or skip it. Go straight to down dog if you don't need it. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, from down dog, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Now, as you exhale, we're going to come into pigeon on the right side. So I like to come into pigeon from a lunge. So if you like to do that, you can make your way into a lunge first. Or if you like to come straight into it, that's an option. From the lunge, I like to tap the left knee down and then heel toe that right foot across towards the left side of your mat. Until you roll over onto the outer edge of the front foot. Good. So as you make your way down into pigeon, right, eventually, perhaps you're moving towards that right shin being parallel with the front of your mat. But for many of us, just kind of our body alignments, that may never even happen for you, and that's totally okay. So finding this spot in pigeon where your two frontal hip points can be pointing towards the front of your mat. You can stay upright, or you can make your way down onto your forearms, or perhaps bring the forehead all the way down to the mat. If you have a block or something you can prop your forehead up with, that's a really great idea. To ground the forehead down on something allows the nervous system to relax a little bit more in this pose. And finding the stillness, a spot in pigeon where you can find a bit of surrender. balancing out our practice. So that vigorous flow, vinyasa aspect of our practice, balancing it out with some stillness here on your mat, some surrender. As you let the weight of the forehead release down into the mat, into the floor, you see if you can relax or release, surrender a little bit that space just behind the heart, and kind of in between the shoulder blades and the upper back. Can you soften there? Can you let that release and surrender down? Good. Really nice. Taking these few moments of stillness, of surrender, feeling the weight of the pelvis release down into the mat, into the earth beneath you. And then take your time, start to make your way back up onto your palms. If you walk yourself up onto your palms, when you're ready, tuck the back toes under, send that right leg all the way back, three-legged dog if that feels good, or just straight to down dog, whatever feels good for you. Take a moment there. And then when you're ready, you'll make your way into the left side. So you can reach that left leg up and back to a three-legged dog. Send the left leg all the way through into, if you like to come into it from a lunge, you'll start out in a low lunge, tap the back right knee down, heel to that left foot across towards the right side of your mat, and send your hips down into pigeon on the left side. As you set yourself up in pigeon, a couple checks. You can check out behind you that your back leg is running parallel with the side of your mat. You can check that your back toes and kneecap are pointing down towards the mat. And then when you're ready, you make your way down onto your forearms, or bring the forehead down towards the mat, or perhaps if you have a block or something, you can take underneath the forehead, doing that. So as you surrender here, as you fold forward, you want to be mindful of whether you're rolling onto that left hip. You want to try to keep both frontal hip points pointing towards the front of your mat. Try to avoid letting that right hip roll open. And then just finding your surrender here, finding that stillness, softening into the pose, using your breath to help you do that. If with each exhale you let out, you can feel yourself surrender, kind of release the weight of your pelvis. Release that space just behind the heart, in between the shoulder blades. Let that soften. Finding the surrender here. And then take your time, start to make your way up out of the fold, crawl yourself up onto your palms. And once you get up onto your palms, you can send that left leg all the way back behind you into a three-legged dog, if that feels good, or back to down dog. Take any movement that feels good. Take a breath or two here. If you want to, or feel like you need to take one more final half vinyasa before we come down, you can go ahead and do so. Shift forward to a plank. Or otherwise, if you don't need that half vinyasa, just make your way down onto your mat. Come to a cross-legged seat. We'll meet up there. So as you come down onto your mat, cross-legged seat, going to give just two options here for this last hip opener. You can either cross your right shin in front of your left, and crossing at the shin so that your feet, your ankles are right underneath the knees. And you're keeping the feet active, the outer edges of the feet curling back, the foot is flexed. You can stay here and walk the fingertips forward from here, or you can take knee to ankle pose instead and take that right foot ankle on top of the left knee and let the right knee come down towards the left ankle. So your choice, either crossing at the shins or knee to ankle. And then you can either stay upright if you feel enough sensation right there, or you can start to walk the fingertips forward. We'll just be here for a few breaths. And as you walk the fingertips forward, keep rooting your sitting bones back. Okay. And then walk your palms back. And sitting upright and just extend the legs out in front of you for a breath. And then come into the other side. So cross the left shin in front of the right. Or if you did knee to ankle, you take the left foot on top of the right knee. If you're crossing at the shins, wherever you are, you want to keep the feet really active here, outer edges of the feet pressing into your mat. And stay upright here if that's enough, or you start to walk your fingertips forward. As you walk the fingertips forward, keep reaching your sitting bones back. So your fingertips and your sit bones are moving in opposition from one another as the fingertips reach forward, sit bones reach back. Maybe close your eyes, let your eyelids go a little heavy. Okay. And then walk your palms back. And then this time, just uncross your legs, have your feet open up wide, take your hands back behind you, and just windshield wiper the knees out from side to side a few times. Just kind of releasing the hips. Good, good. And then just make your way right down onto your back on your mat. Give your knees a hug in towards your chest, rock a little bit from side to side, coming into a final spinal twist. Cross your right knee over your left. Lift your hips to swivel them slightly over to the right and lower your knees over to the left. And gazing out over that right shoulder. Good. And then make your way back to center and switch sides. So cross your left knee over your right. Lift your hips, swivel slightly over to the left, lower your knees over towards the right. Gazing out this time over that left shoulder. And then make your way back to center. Give your knees a hug in towards your chest one last time. You could peel the knees out wide towards the shoulders, towards the armpits. That feels good. Maybe come into a happy baby for a breath or two if you'd like. Just any sort of final movement here before you make your way into Shavasana, your final resting pose. And when you're ready, setting yourself up to come into Shavasana, move any props, anything out of your way. Let your feet flop open as they naturally do. Let your arms rest by your sides with your palms facing up, but there's nothing touching your fingertips. As you come down on your back, take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose. Sip in a little more air when you get to the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. With that exhale, let go of your Ujjayi breath. Let your breath be natural and effortless. Feel the weight of the backs of the shoulders releasing down into the mat. Scanning the body for any physical tension. See if you can let that release, soften. Perhaps wiggle out the jaw. Relax the skin all around the eyelids. With each effortless exhale, you let out. If you can let the weight of your body release, surrender more into the earth beneath you. Just a few moments of stillness. Shavasana. And without moving, take a nice deep breath. Inhale, fill up. Fill
As you exhale, feel your belly button fall towards your spine. And then slowly start to invite some movement back in. Wiggle out your toes, your fingers, roll out the wrists, the ankles. And then maybe reach the arms out overhead like it was the first stretch of your day. Nice deep inhale as you reach out, and as you exhale, drop in, go heavy on your mat. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your right side. Keeping your eyelids gently closed, take your time. And as you find yourself up in a seated position, take a moment here. And keeping your eyelids closed. Sit tall through your spine, take your palms together at your heart, tuck your chin, bow your head down. A moment here in gratitude for this day, for your practice. And then slowly open your eyes. Namaste.